think of the children. Save the children. Just think of the children, please. If you've been following internet recently, you will have noticed the Lootboxes controversy. And that's not what I want to talk about, even though I put it in the title, it says loot boxes and saving the children. I'm not gonna be talking about loot boxes because fuck them. I like loot boxes. I don't care what anyone else says. I like them because, well, once you see, that golden color pop out of nowhere and that sound, that like explosion, and you see a legendary drop, you're like, oh my god, this is better than fucking sex. So screw that. What I want to talk about is saving the children. This is a because we gotta save the children, man. Children are the future. We want to protect them. We want to ensure that the world is a beautiful place where they can live. So, all these children that you're saying, we gotta save them. We gotta think of the children all the time, man. All the time. I'm telling you, all the time. We just gotta think of the children. One time I was watching this porn, right? And I was really into it, and I'm jacking it off up and down like a fucking machine, right? And just as I'm about to come, my mom screams at the top of her lungs, think of the children! And a child's image pops into my head and I just come, man, And I can safely say that I thought of children in every possible moment in my life. I gotta think of the children, We gotta think of the children. Not these children, though, These starving, unfortunate, children. We can't think of those, We gotta think of these children, these entitled, enabled little snots that spend thousands of dollars of their parents' money, and then them parents come and say, okay, I know I gave you this money, but where is it? Where is it? That's what I want to talk about with you guys today. Saving the children, because that's what the entire argument about loot boxes has basically fallen down to. It's not the fact that you have to pay $60 for a game, and then you are basically forced to pay additional dollars to unlock these fucking costumes and these items and all this bullshit. No, it's because the children are endangered because of the fucking loot boxes, because apparently loot boxes inspire gambling addiction, and we gotta think of the children, man. If we don't think of the children, who will? But again, not these children, not these children living in the post-war, situations where they can barely have enough food to eat and water to drink. No, screw those children, they aren't cute enough, okay? Look at how terribly they're dressed, look how ugly they look, right? We gotta think of these children, these snotty little enabled cunts, that we gotta think of them, man. We gotta save them from this gambling addiction. If you can't, figure out just how deep into sarcasm I've gone with this video, this is one of the dumbest arguments you can ever make. It's basically a cop-out. It's a deflection. It's like when you say, well, everyone lies, so do I. Sometimes I lie because everyone else lies. That's not an excuse, We say, think of the children when we have nothing else to offer, no other argument. Which is weird because we have other arguments for fucking microtransactions in these games, but we gotta save the children. We gotta think of the fucking children, man. Okay, we gotta save the children from these gambling addictions. And no matter time, no matter place, no matter what you're doing, you always gotta be thinking of children. I don't want to think of children all the time, for fuck's sake, man. I'm not a pedophile. I'm into cute 19-year-old girls, just barely legal, and I can't be charged, with anything, as long as they say yes, right? Too bad, 19-year-old girls don't want me. That's a. Think of me, guys. Okay, don't think of children. Think of me. Think about how I feel every time I get rejected. Actually, I don't feel anything. I've been rejected so many times that it's kind of like, what's new? But we gotta think of the children, man. Yeah, we can't just say, well, it's not the children. It's actually the parents that actually give these poor snots that are 10 years old thousands of dollars and then don't follow what their children are spending that money on. We can't say that it's parents' fault. Poor parents, they aren't at fault. It's these big, bad, greedy corporations that, inspire gambling in children. We gotta think of the children, man. These loot boxes, they're creating murderers, they're creating rapists, they're creating future gamblers that will spend their entire fortune trying to win it big, It's not the parents' fault, it's not a child's fault, it's not because our culture is retarded and we don't know what the fuck we're doing with ourselves. It's the greedy corporations that are at fault here, okay? It's the greedy corporations that come up with these ideas, with these loot boxes that have been around for 2 years at this point, but now they're sort of a big deal for some reason. It's not the children. We gotta think of the children, man. We gotta save the children. When I first, heard about this controversy, Calling it a controversy is kind of, you know, stretching it, but let's say it's a controversy. When I first heard of it, I was like, okay, fucking finally, dude. You guys, gaming community is finally coming to its senses. Like, okay, they're against microtransactions, even though, you know, the arguments is kind of off the point, they're against it. That's great. But now, all I'm seeing across the fucking internet is like, well, you know, these loot boxes inspire the same hormones in our brains that gambling does. So we gotta think of the children. We gotta make sure the children, you know, aren't getting addicted to gambling because blah blah blah, psychological factors, blah blah blah. And we by now we just completely lost the point of the entire fucking debate. Nothing makes sense anymore, okay? It's no longer about the fucking loot boxes, it's about the fucking children at this point. And children have nothing to do with loot boxes, okay? Here, I will tell you parents, all parents of the world, okay? All parents of the world, listen to me carefully. If you have a child, okay, and your child is under the age of 25, okay? Your child is under the age of 25, he or she is unemployed, they're dumb, obviously they're dumb, they're fucking children, okay? And they play games. Don't give them unrestricted access to fucking money, you dumb retards, okay? You fucking retards. Don't give them unrestricted access to money. And then, once you figure out that they've spent thousands of fucking dollars on this shitty game, you can't go to the companies and say, well, you know, you allowed my child to spend these thousands of dollars. It's totally not my fault that I didn't keep track of the money I fucking own, that I gave to my 9-year-old kid who probably doesn't even understand what the fuck money is. This is why this entire argument falls apart, because the moment you start saying, oh, think of the children, think of the repercussions this has on the children, how it inspires gambling and all that kind of shit, the entire argument against microtransactions falls apart, because fuck children, okay? You can't use that a cop-out and say, well, you know, this inspires gambling, think of the children. Fuck children, man. I don't want to think of the children. I don't want to become a pedophile. Pedophiles are creepy, man, okay? They have the worst mustaches, the worst glasses, and the worst hair reclines I've seen in my life, okay? I don't want that type of a life. I'm cool with my graying but full hair, with my neck beard, but you know, no mustache, not creepy mustache at least, and my decent looking glasses. I'm fine with that. So don't make me think of children, for fuck's sake. So yeah, I'm kind of baffled. You know, we had a pretty decent argument, okay? These microtransactions that you enable in the game offer ability that impacts actual gameplay elements. It's not just cosmetics anymore. You had a fantastic argument on your hand, okay? Fantastic argument that you can use to bring down these practices, or at least stall them for the time being. But what do? We fuck that right off to the side, fuck that shit and say, okay, we need to think of the children. It's the children here that are in danger, okay? Because we, as parents, can't take responsibility for the actions of our children. If they happen to spend thousands of dollars of our money, it's obviously not our fault, okay? We don't have time to see what our children do all day long, okay? We don't have time to go on the fucking phone and check our bank accounts, okay? That takes way too much effort. It's much easier to blame everyone else that our child has spent thousands of dollars on the shitty game than to blame us for being terrible fucking parents. And the entire argument about these loot boxes now has basically come down to, okay, is this gambling? But that had nothing to do, the entire controversy, if you can't recall, started when someone on Reddit calculated it would take around 40 hours for Darth Vader to be unlocked. 40 hours of playtime if you weren't willing to spend any money on the game to unlock Darth Vader as a hero to play as, okay? The entire controversy about Battlefront 2 started from right there. At first, it had nothing to do with loot boxes. So when the EA said, okay, we're cutting down the prices, now it's not 40,000, now it's 20,000 or some shit like that. I can't remember because I'm not that interested in the game, actually. So when that was cut off, we moved on to the loot boxes. And the first was like, okay, this is randomized, okay? These random elements impact the gameplay. And that's bad. We don't want that in the games. Great argument. You could have gone with it. But then from that, it was like, okay, this is gambling. And children play games, so are children gambling? Is this legal? Can this be allowed in the games? Should the games that have them be rated adults only? It just collapsed. The entire thing collapsed from a reasonable argument to the fucking cop-out. Save the children! Think of the children! Oh my fucking god, I remember when I was 13 and I just installed Steam, I just got internet, okay, there were all these games at my disposal, but I didn't have any money, so I was like, hey mom, can you please let me borrow your credit card for like just one game, I just want to buy one game, okay, just one game. And the back of my head is like, okay, I'm gonna save the information on Steam and she will never know because I'll just buy one game a month, like that, shit like that. She just looked at me and slapped me in the face like, are you fucking nuts? Are you fucking nuts? Of course I'm not gonna give you my credit card, you fucking dimwit. But now, you know, parents can't be responsible, man. It's just too much work. It's much easier to blame the rest of the world and their shortcomings. Fuck you. Fuck parents. Fuck children. Fuck this entire controversy because it spiraled down from a reasonable argument to the fucking notion of save the children. Is it gambling? Who gives a shit if it's like fucking gambling, okay? Who gives a shit? If you can't show restraint, don't play these fucking games or have someone monitor you, okay? I enjoy getting legendary from these fucking loot boxes, okay? That's why I like them. That's why I like opening them. Doesn't mean I'm gonna shell out 50, 60, 100, 25,000 fucking dollars to open as many as I can. No, I fucking won't. I've been playing Dota 2, Counter-Strike Go, I've been playing fucking Battle.Right, all these shitty games that have these fucking shitty loot boxes. I've never spent a dime on them. Not a fucking dime. Because I can show fucking restraint. Because I know that these fucking things don't matter. They don't matter. Eventually, I'll get what I want, right? I'll accumulate fucking 100 hours in the game and I'll get that outfit that I want. But no, man, we gotta think of the children. We gotta save the children. Children can't show restraint. That's why they have fucking parents. Okay, do you think that 21 is just an arbitrary age that they made up that said, okay, you can't gamble unless you're 21? Do you really think that they just made that fucking number up and said, okay, this will be the cut line? No, there's a reason why you have to be 21, because you have a developed fucking brain at that point. So this is just weird. And until that point, obviously you have your parents that tell you, okay, no, I won't give you my credit card because I'm a responsible motherfucker and I don't want you wasting our money on some stupid shit that you will stop playing within 5 fucking months. So what happened with this controversy? It spiraled from a very reasonable argument, okay, these random elements impact the gameplay and they can be bought with real money. This is basically pay to win. Great, we have great argument, we can just stall them, we can just remove this entire shit from the game, but no. We started involving the governments, the legislation. They're like, okay, we're not looking at this from a playing, you know, perspective, from a perspective of a player. We're looking at this from a perspective of someone who's never played a game in their fucking lives, and this looks like gambling. People are saying this is gambling. Okay, and then they associate, okay, games, kids are gambling, that's bad, let's go against that. It's fucking retarded, man. Save the children, save my ass. I don't give a shit about children. If I could, and I'm pretty sure this is a lot of other people, this is not just me. If I could, I would have every single newborn be immediately an adult with a rational mind. Kids are the fucking worst, man. They're obnoxious, they're loud, they're shitty, they're filthy, they're dumb. They always ask all the retarded questions and you gotta spend time actually fucking answering them. Which is probably why you get tired of being a parent. It's like, here's my credit card, do whatever the fuck you want with it. So when you realize that you're bankrupt, you don't blame your child or yourself, but you blame the fucking game companies. It's like, how much deflection in your life do you need, okay? How much shit does it have to happen in your life to realize, okay, maybe it's not the gaming industry, maybe it's not the publishers or the developers, maybe it's because my child is a retard and I'm a bigger retard than he is. Maybe that's the problem. Fuck saving the children, for fuck's sake, okay? We actually have children who are suffering across the world, you know? Not even in the fucking Africa that's always, oh, think of the children in Africa. Forget fucking Africa for a moment. There are other countries in the world. There is human trafficking, child pornography, post-war countries where children are basically starving to death every day. And we're talking about these little snobs that their parents can't control because they're retarded. Both of them are. It's like, well, where's my $5,000? Oh, my son spent it on this retarded game that he's no longer replaying. Well, better blame the developers. Better, you know, push for legislation to ban this shit because it can't be in the game, because it inspires my child to spend the money that I gave him and then stop monitoring what he does with that money. Wouldn't it have been better if instead of, you know, buying games and these loot boxes and whatever, he went out and bought drugs and prostitutes and that shit? Probably would have. I don't fucking know. Who can understand these shitty parents that blame everyone except themselves when their child does something dumb? For crying out loud. At first, when this controversy happened, I was really happy. Because as a gaming community, we finally united and said, okay, this is bullshit. Okay, we bent over for so long to shitty practices. It's time to fucking stop. But now we're back to the same page. It's just bullshit. We had a reasonable argument And we went and said, hey, think of the children. Think of the fucking children. What will the children do? For fuck's sake. What are you guys doing? What the fuck are you doing, for fuck's sake? Oh my god.